Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my video. So hopefully you would have seen my recent clip in regards to my choice on VO5 products. So for a very long time, having turned to VO5 products and using them for a number of years for choosing to style my hair. So it's a product range which I go to very often. And after doing that clip, it really got me thinking about the other products which I use. So absolutely by now, hopefully you would have got I'm sort of very much into styles, sort of changing my hairstyle very often, choosing different products sort of from different ranges. But there is always two ranges which I always come back to. So I absolutely love trying out different products. Some more expensive, some your standard sort of price range, and some even cheaper. And you'd be really surprised sometimes the effect can be better the less you pay, and others of course the more you pay, a bit more of a sleek and a bit more of a professional finish. Two brands which I always come back to: VO5, which you've already seen from my review, and Schwarzkopf Got2b range. So this is a range which I very often keep coming back to. And again, love VO5 products, but I think equally I also love the Schwarzkopf Got2b range as well. For a number of years, I think I've been, for the longest amount of time, I've been using the VO5 products, and then sort of gradually, certainly the freeze spray and certainly the waxes in the Got2b range I have used for a very long time for creating all different styles, sort of with styles with volume, lots of texture, and then when I've got shorter hair, sort of spiky styles, sort of like a bit of a side fringe, all sorts of different styles, and they are absolutely a fantastic range. So today I'm going to go through and just review these products, which I think are absolutely fantastic, and it's a collection of 4 products which I've put together, and these products I have used for a long time now and probably will continue to use them into the future, and I've used them in all sorts of styles. So my starting product which I want to go to is a product which I originally didn't actually like. So this is the Schwarzkopf Got2b Volumaniac Root Lifting Spray, and this is for insane volume. And this here, it's saying to us here, we've got crazy root boost, incredible long lasting and dramatic hold. And just on the back here, it tells you a little bit here, so the bigger the better, create insanely voluminous styles with Got2b Volumaniac Root Lifting Spray, and give your head the root boost it needs. Exaggerated and lifted volume you'll go crazy for. So this particular product, just to tell you a little bit about it, so when I first bought this, I thought that this product was really quite heavy, and it was a really wet spraying product, which very often I don't like that. If you've got a finer texture of hair, the last thing you want is quite a heavy, overpowering product. And then I thought when you went to dry it, I didn't really like the texture. When I then, perhaps I would say about, I left, didn't really buy the product, didn't bother about the product for about a year, I'd say recently went back to the product, tried it again, and then instead of not sort of half dried hair, I think originally I was spraying it in when my hair had already almost about 3/4 part way through dry. I now spray this product in when my hair's wet. So after freshly shampooed and conditioned hair, I then go in with this root lifting spray, and I spray it in my hair damp. And then from styling my hair off, I use then just a pretty standard brush, any sort of vented brush, or any sort of small sort of Damon brush, which I really like, where you can get that lift in the front of your hair, or if you're creating like a quiff or a bit of a swooping style, really great. So from using it in damp hair, absolutely amazing product. It gives your hair a lot more resistance, so if you've got really super soft, sleek hair, like what I have, after it's been shampooed and conditioned, going in for a product like that is absolutely brilliant. And it's something which I've actually come to really like putting in my hair, and actually very often I use it most days if I'm using a style which is a bit more voluminous in my hair. Very often, of course, I'm wearing that gelled, combed, very professional sort of sleek look, but if I'm not, that is a go-to product which I absolutely love, so I really recommend that one. Very often within the Schwarzkopf Got2b range, they have an offer on there. So at the moment, I believe these products are £3. I think the most expensive I usually see them is around about £4. So it's a really cost-effective product, and for the price, a really good product as well. And I would say I've used the root lifting spray on and off for quite a while, but this time, since I've gone back to it, I'm using it on damp hair. A really fantastic product, which I will certainly continue using into the future. So then that brings me on, whilst we're on the volume side of styling, this is a product which originally, again, which I bought. I wasn't necessarily sure how to use this, and this is the, again, it's in the same range of course, but this one is the Powerful, and it's, and I say that because it's broken up here on the box here, so Power and then Full, so volumizing styling powder, instant volume and root boost. So just very quickly, let's tell you a little bit about it. So break the rules for how you style with Got2b Power Full Volumizing Styling Powder and take your volume to new heights. This fantastic weightless formula texturizes each strand to create maximum volume at the roots in an instant, and it literally does just that. So when I first started using this, I used far too much. It's like a powder, like a very thin textured powder, and then you literally part your hair, dab it through your hair, so it's like a literal, like a very fine powder. So dab it through your hair and then rub it into the roots, and it creates instant texture and a lot of volume. First time I used it, I used far too much, and it was it made my hair really resistant and almost too firm. I couldn't sort of style my hair with anything at all. So left it, of course, naturally, having bought the product, thought, oh my god, I've wasted that, now I'm not going to be able to use it. When I went back to it and I actually used it for a style like a pompadour style where I have a lot of volume in the front and of course taking in at the sides and then that flatter, that sort of less height at the back. So smoothed up at the front here and then across obviously at the sides and then downwards, that nice traditional smart looking pompadour, which of course you need to use a comb or a brush for. After I've dried my hair from shampooed and conditioned hair, once I've dried it and it's of course very soft and slick, I've got quite fine textured hair, it falls quite flat. Holding your head to the side and putting this texturing powder through your hair, not a lot, just a reasonable amount, just a few dustings throughout your scalp, rub that into the roots. It gives you real strong resistance in the hair, and it gives you a lot more texture, and it's almost it instantly, you can feel it, as it says, it's an instant effect. You can feel it in the hair. It almost doubles sort of the amount of hair you've got, or at least that feeling like you've got a lot more hair. And it's great, of course, because that makes styling your hair much easier. And I always find it doesn't fall flat either, which is brilliant. Sort of if you're moving it around with a brush or a comb, absolutely great product because you can get straight in there and style your hair. And then of course, if you're like me, then you go over the product and the style which you put into place with a freeze spray. Absolutely fantastic. And with some of the styles there, you can create, if you've got slightly longer textured hair, like for example my length of hair is about down to my nose at the moment, really great product for creating that lift. Or even like the style which I've got today, which is this sort of high volume on one side and then this swoop across the side of my face, and then just sort of almost like this swoop around by my ear here and then backwards with a lot of texture on top. This product creates amazing texture in your hair, and it's one of those products you don't really have to do a lot with it. So after you've got that dried hair from your shampooed and your conditioned hair, using this texture almost creates a style in itself. It gives you that texture. It almost gives you that bit more substance to your hair, which makes it easier to style. So then what I would normally do is go in then with a freeze spray, and then straight after keeping it in place, and that's my style, and of course you're ready to go. I just gave it away a bit there by talking about freeze spray, because the last product in regards to sort of hold, the next one is a little bit different. I am choosing probably one of my favourite products of all time, really using, and I probably will use this going forward into the future, and I have done for so many years now, is the Schwarzkopf Got2b Glued Blasting Freeze Spray. So this spray is absolutely fantastic. So on the back here we've got, it's Got2b, stop, hair up all our spray. And I'm not sure about that. Create scandalously strong hold or fix the results of your hairstyle you have already created with Got2b. Let your hair freeze until your next shampoo for high class styles only. So this product, whether you've got short hair, medium hair or longer hair, absolutely amazing product, especially if you like freeze sprays. This is probably the strongest freeze spray I've come across, and it's absolutely brilliant. When I've got shorter hair, for that spikes, if you're sort of putting your fringe up to the side or if you're lifting it up in the front, absolutely brilliant. Literally just slightly damp hair, style your hair how you want it, quick spray all over, and you're done, you're ready to go. Really fast, so it's a really effective spray. If you've got slightly longer hair and you've got that sort of dried shape, and you've got that nice volume in the front, if you're doing a traditional pompadour, or if you're doing a texturized style, or if you've even got like a longer swooping hair across your face and you've got that texture and you want it to hold, an amazing product. Quick spray of that all over, and it gives a great shine, it gives a great finish, and I don't find this one drying at all. After you've had your style and you've had your day of how you want your hair to look, once you've then shampooed it out, I don't find it does anything drying or sort of anything damaging to the hair. However, of course, over a long period of time, I don't know, but for me, I use it very often. I use quite a lot of the product, and once I've shampooed and conditioned my hair after it, I don't find that it causes me sort of an ill effect to my hair. So it's a product which I really love and I continue to use. Again, great for short hair, great for longer hair. The style which I've done today, and different styles you've seen in my clips, and I know that spray is featured quite a lot in my clips. It's a really great product, and it's a product which I use very often. Again, I've only recently recently bought that at £3, and it's very often on offer, or it's in a participating offer, sort of 3 for 2, and it's a really cost-effective product for me. You can buy this whole range we're talking about here in supermarkets and stores like Boots, Superdrug, and those alike stores, and of course online, particularly Amazon. If you want more of them, you can buy them for larger packs for really a cost-saving amount as well. So a really great product. So then moving on to something slightly different, so a texturizing clay. Now very often if I'm doing a style like what I've got today, or if I want more texture in my hair, and I'm not going for that neatness or that sort of combed sleekness, I will choose a texturizing clay. And Got2b have got one which I believe is really good in creating texture and almost making more of the hair what you've got. So this one here, so this is a texture clay for matte look. So this doesn't actually give you a shine. However, if you wanted the hold and you wanted the texture of this product, which I do very often, I then go in with the freeze spray, and that gives me the shine. But this one here I really like. So this is texture clay. So let's just go through what it is slightly on the back, tell you what its description is saying. So want a remoldable style and hair with plenty of texture? Try the Got2b Eye Styler Texture Clay, which shapes your hair and gives you a style, a matte finish and a lasting hold. So a really great product. So this product, when I first bought this, again, it's a really strong hold texturizing clay, but it's like a creamy texture. It's a creamy, sort of like a creamy formula. So you don't necessarily need to use too much. When I'm styling my hair, I always take a small amount first of all, then I'm styling my hair, and if I need a bit more, I will keep going in that way. I don't take a huge amount and then style my hair. I find that's far too much. If you've got short hair, it creates a really nice texture in your hair, and a sort of a spiky look. It's absolutely great for that. If you've got slightly longer hair, or if you've got like a mid-length hair, it's great for really getting down into the roots and lifting that hair up as well. And it's great for taking texturizing pieces. So if you've got your hair sort of swooped onto one side and perhaps it's straighter, you haven't got much volume in it, it's really great. I know what I do sometimes if I'm a little bit conscious of my hearing aids and I'm wearing my hair sort of off to one parting, and it's sort of, I want that texturizing look but it's straight across my ears so I don't see my hearing aids. I go in with this product and I take sort of a small amount through my hair and then I sort of shake it around so I've got a nice texture. Then if I want some sort of pieces of texture just around my face or like my sort of fringe area, I go in with a very small amount and I pull it through strands of hair, and it gives a really nice texturized look. So it's a really great product for that. It's also really great if you've got a really fine texture of hair, making your hair fuller, and because of course it lifts all the hair. Very often, sometimes what I do, I know it sounds awful, but I have used all these products in one style before. So for example, after I've gone in with shampooed and conditioned hair, I've gone in with the root lifting spray, not too much, but I've gone in with the root lifting spray so I get that lift. Then once it's dry, I've gone in with a little bit of powder, which is absolutely great, this texturizing powder, and I've gone in with a slight amount of the clay, which is great to create that texture, and then I've gone in with the freeze spray. A real great collection of products which I believe harmonise each other, and they really work fantastically well for styles. And the great thing about it is it doesn't fall, it doesn't drop, and I find it always holds its shape for whatever you're doing, which of course is really great. If it's anything like me, I like my hair to be quite solid. I don't like it to just sort of be moving around. But then of course there are days when you do like your hair to have a bit of sort of movement and air through it as well, which if you want, of course, don't choose so many, or then just use a slight amount. So just for example, the root lifting spray, dry your hair through that, little bit of wax, and a great style. Of course you've got that movement there as well, if you're not freezing it into place with the freeze spray. So hopefully you would have took some tips away from that today. A really great range of products, as you can see. I'm really quite fond of them. I've used them for such a long time now. And if it's not the Schwarzkopf Got2b range, it's the VO5 freeze hold range as well, which I use. Again, both products which I do keep coming back to, and I've used for a number of years, since when I was a lot younger, and different hairstyles, sort of longer, shorter, if I want texture or smoothness. A really great range of products. Of course, I really like trying out different products, but for some reason, I think it's because they're such good names with such stability and that reputation, I always keep coming back to them. And of course, if it's a great product and you know it's a great product and it's really cost effective, then you're going to keep coming back to it, which is I think why I love the VO5 and the Schwarzkopf range. Again, today I'm not representing Schwarzkopf Got2b range at all. It's a personal opinion, so this is just I've come across products which I really like. Thought about this video, doing this one on the Got2b range after I'd done the VO5 clip. video clip, and I thought absolutely it's product ranges which I use all the time, so why not shout about it, because it's products which I really love and enjoy using. So absolutely give them a try. Hopefully you would have found some of the tips really useful, and if you see them out and about and they are sort of catching your eye, go for them. They're really great products to use, and of course it's a really great quality, effective product, which is why I would have chose them. So coming off of that slightly different, how have I styled my hair today? So again, some of what I've covered I've actually done today. So I have literally gone from shampooed and conditioned hair. I'm just going to grab the brush which I used. So I've gone in with shampooed and conditioned hair. Today I've used the Ceneroxyl L'Oreal Professional Range shampoo and conditioner, which is a really invigorating and a nice sort of almost like a wake up for your scalp first thing in the morning whilst you're washing your hair. And it's got menthol in there, and it's got some really sort of minty fragrances as well. The range is designed for looking after your hair if you're thinning, if you've got thin hair. I've got quite thin textured hair, but quite a lot of it. So it gives a really good boost. After that, after I've used the shampoo and the conditioner, what I've then gone through, of course, just quickly towel dried that off. Then I've gone through today with the root lifting spray. Not loads, just a slight through amount at the roots of my hair. I've not absolutely saturated my hair, just a small amount. Then I've gone in with the blow dryer, and I've used this small radial sort of diamond brush, which I really like, and it's great on your scalp, and it's really great for creating lift. So I've gone in on the one side of my scalp here, as you can see, and I've really gone in at my scalp there with the blow dryer, and I've really gone in for some lift, and I've really pulled that up. So the motion, what I was just doing there, is literally pulling in from my scalp, and then almost pulling the hair back towards over your scalp, really creating that lift. Then what I've done is I've come to the side here. Again, I've just created the lift up higher, but I've really concentrated on creating the lift here on the one side, which I wanted to concentrate on creating the volume. The back I've sort of just rough dried just to keep the texture in there, and then when I'm almost dry, I've gone in and just brushed backwards just so I can keep that direction of hair how I want it to be. The front I've really concentrated on after using the root lifting spray to create that lift in volume. So this side on my left, I've pulled the brush up from my scalp, of course really gently with the blow dry, and then pulling that hair as we come up to the top of my hair, and then pulling that backwards, so I've got that nice sleekness. And on the side here, again, I've pulled away from my scalp and again towards the back of my head. And then as I've gradually gone like that, I've pulled out towards the side slightly, and then swooping my hair over. After it's dried, I've then gone in with the texturizing clay, only a slight small amount, to be honest with you, you'd be surprised. And then I've gone through with a small amount on my hands, rubbed that through my hands, and then I've gone through my hair. Of course, I've got quite a lot of resistance at the moment in my hair because I've got the root lifting spray, which creates sort of natural texture and that resistance, and then the clay, which is great because if you can, through your hair, of course be careful and be mindful. You've got products creating lift and volumes. It can be a little bit more stiffer to pull through your hair. So the clay makes that really nice because it's a really creamy texture, just slightly through your hands, and then always start sort of down into the roots, really work on those roots, and then bring your hands through your hair so you've got that nice lift. And then all what I've done, it looks a lot more than what it is. I've then just sort of pulled my hair up to one side, and then with my fingers you can hopefully sort of see where I've pulled it through with my fingers, and then I've sort of pulled this side from the left upwards, creating that volume, and then as I've pulled it up without letting go, I've then gone in with the blasting free spray, sprayed that over, and then just held my hand here and then just gone in with a spray of the spray. And then from one side I've used my hand, and then I've slightly, instead of pulling this backwards, I've then just left this over and then just quite casually pulled it over, and then again just sprayed it all over to keep it in place. And then after, just so I got a bit more of a sleek look in the front here, I've then gone in with my fingers, pulled the front up, and then slightly pulled the side away. And as I'm sort of lifting, you can sort of see I've gone in with my fingers, and sort of from this texture you can hopefully see that the space is sort of where my fingers have been, and it's sort of created that nice sort of height and that nice swooping look. Then the swooping sort of piece here I've got just tucked in sort of on the side here, which is great, and then that joins up with the back of the style. As you can see, I've just gone in very loosely with my hands to create that sort of texturized volume look and that nice wave. And then here, which works really great for me because I wear hearing aids, of course it's part of me. Some days I'm fine with it, some days I'm not. Of course I'm showing it on one side and I've got that nice lifted volume. Here I don't want to show too much of it, so I've pulled this down, the hair swooped off to the side so it sort of covers the back of the hearing aid ever so slightly. Of course, if you'd have chosen this style to cover hearing aids, of course you wouldn't do it this side, but necessarily today I just wanted to do this style, not to cover them, but I'm just sort of saying that this style does boast a really nice benefit of being able to cover sort of features on your ears or on your scalp, for example, if you want to hide something or sort of discourage away from people's sight. Really great style. I don't usually wear this very often. It's quite a lot of products and things we've used today, and it creates a real nice lot of texture. It's quite sunny out today, so it's quite nice to sort of have that texture and that sort of free-flowing movement. Of course, if you don't want it to move around like me, I then spray it in place with the free spray. So absolutely great product range. Hopefully you've enjoyed sort of taking some tips away what we've done, and hopefully give them a try, and hopefully you like my look what I've done today. So I'm quite pleased with it. Like the texture what I've got going on here. As you can see, we've got that lift here, and then it sort of texturizes out on the top here with all sort of nice pieces of texture, and I've got that swooping side piece there, and you can see I've got that nice sort of swoop of hair there. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's clip. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, we will see you then. Bye for now.